We are live.
Hello.
Hey, friends, new Earthlings, new place again. We are streaming from Berlin. We hope that you hear us well. Wow, this is really a topic that's really hot in the spiritual scene.
Or at least like something that we've been witnessing a lot, but I don't think that everybody is aware of it. So that's why we want to talk about it.
They're always so important. So let us know. I know it's not the optimal time for our friends and community in the USA, but I hope our European tribe on board. If you can hear us, let us know where are you watching us from and if the sound quality is doing well. I know the video is not the best because we are using laptop. But yeah, this message needs to come out, so we're gonna put it out there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically what we are talking about is this sort of split in terms of our work, spiritual work, of focus on personal gain and success versus focus on like serving humanity, but from a place of self-sacrifice. And the latter is actually something that we've seen a lot in the spiritual field. It's quite common to see people who are sort of like in the service to the whole, and these people usually have no money at all because they don't then, there's an imbalance. They don't allow themselves to also receive.
Yeah, we talked about this in the spiritual traps series. I think one of the videos about like being in service but not really honoring oneself. And since a few months, actually, even like longer, we've been seeing this shadow playing out in many spiritual circles, and we want to address it out.
Right. So actually what we want to talk about today is the other one.
Yeah.
So the first one that I mentioned, which is selling a spiritual service where it is communicated that this is about serving humanity, but actually the main focus is on personal success, wealth, and gain. Yeah.
And we want to show you or like share with you how you can detect if you're offering service and healing, how you can detect if this shadow is alive in you, and if you are seeking help from any spiritual guide or teacher, how you can discern if the person you're following is having those shadows and operating from those trauma pattern or not. Yeah.
Right. So there is nothing wrong with, again, like wanting to receive and wanting nice things in life. You know, that's not at all what we're saying. But it's really about truthful communication. What are we communicating to the people who follow us? As well as what is our highest priority, you know? So what oftentimes happens is that somebody starts out, you know, with this sort of desire to give, desire to contribute positively to humanity, desire to share their gifts. And then along the way, it's sort of like the ego hijacks the mission and the gifts and starts to utilize the light of our inner children, of our essence, for personal gain. Like, oh yes, I'm gonna, you know, put this out there so that I can get money, so that I can get followers, so that I can get appreciation.
Yeah, and in that journey, the light dissipated because it's not anymore about like bringing the light. It's about how I can, like what Mia shared, followers or feeling successful or feeling competent or proving to my parents that I'm a successful healer or proving to whatever. Yeah. So
yeah, and again, it's not about you shouldn't get that. In fact, that usually follows, like the success and the love starts to flow our way and the abundance when we are in true service from the heart. But the trick is here, what is leading? Is the love and the mission leading, or is the personal desire to be somebody? And that's often what I see a lot, is wanting to be somebody, you know, wanting to be the best-selling author and wanting to be the one who has a 6-figure business, you know. And that becomes the goal. And then where is the integrity of the message in that?
Yeah, we are curious to know your experience, guys, if you have been in this spiritual field, promotion, self-help, and we'd love to hear your experience as well, then send us heart. Hello, Dan. Good to see you here again.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I oftentimes witness is this kind of feeling of incongruency. So, for example, a sort of a spiritual guide or teacher might say that I am led by the Spirit, or I am, this is my heart's calling. And while there's truth in that, you might also feel that yet all of the sort of promotion goes towards how can I get, how can I get you to give me your attention? How can I get you to give me your money? How can I get you to follow me?
And it's very difficult to notice that if you don't have true teachers in your life. It took me really long because I was really following some of those teachers and inspiration who really grab attention. And I couldn't distinguish that because I didn't have a contrast to that until I went to Latin America, where I met one of our spiritual teacher and shaman who actually was so incredibly present and so incredibly loving. So that gave me the contrast of it. So one thing that I noticed for myself is where I feel my energy is going so much about this person, what he's doing, what his life is about, and in a way that I'm not seeing like how my energy is drained. So after perhaps watching some of their videos or following them on social media, I notice a drain in my energy. While with the other true teacher, I feel like, wow, I'm pumped with life. I feel so much inspiration. I feel like my spine is just like straight and there's so much download coming.
Yeah, and actually, like at a more spiritual level, I actually think what is happening is that there might be an entity attachment or something there that is, where that person is taking energy actually from others. And this is what happens oftentimes, that the person who is trying to get your attention and get your money, it needs you more than you need them, actually.
Yeah.
Many of the promoters in social media need you more because they need your appreciation, your follows, your likes. They need you to join their course, to give you give them your money.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really unfortunate because like the whole social media theme put us in this small corner where you have to promote yourself as a healer in social media, and it's a myth. And we are actually in our life been challenged in that, and we are still challenged. And what we can share from our experience, that we saw many amazing healers. They are not in social media. They don't use this platform, and they serve humanity so much. Yeah, even one of them said, the true teacher you won't find in social media, you don't find on the internet, you will find it in your neighborhood. It's the loving person who really care for the details, who really care for the interaction, who really care for the well-being for people around them.
Yeah, really. And so how do you find true teachers instead of like constantly giving our energy to people who pose as teachers, yet are actually taking our energy? And of course, they are not evil either. Like that is coming from their wounding.
Yeah.
But how do we recognize, a teacher, true teacher, from this kind of energy? So there is some things to look out for. For example, do you feel like somebody's trying to grab your attention? Do you feel like you're being seduced or manipulated to buy something? Are they only showing how amazing they are and only the positive, and never sort of the more human, sort of, you might call ugly, that is considered ugly sometimes?
Or imperfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are they politically correct?
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one, because many people, especially in social media, they are not sharing any truth just to not be platform, which I think it's valid. Like even for us, we don't like
directly
vocally challenge that, but we indirectly bring this message. So there's something to look for. Like, are they completely following the narrative and not bringing any truth just to not lose their status?
Yeah, speaking the truth speaks about the integrity of the person. Yeah, and where is their highest priority?
Yeah.
So does watching them make you feel inadequate, anxious, envious? Or do you feel uplifted? Do you feel nourished and empowered and inspired?
Yeah.
Do you feel like they are a human being or more like an icon or some kind of celebrity? So that sense of there is a big distance between me and them, as if they are like somehow, I don't know, on a pedestal,
Yeah.
is actually a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Because a true teacher understands that they're not above anybody else. And they will speak from a place that feels very human.
Yeah.
And then another one, do they treat others with humility and kindness?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what you said from earlier, that most true teachers are actually quite humble and don't put themselves on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why many of us might not even recognize them, because we're used to looking for somebody who is above, who is radiant, who is
Who know the ultimate truth.
yeah. And then we might not notice when there is actually somebody who is so down to earth, so grounded, so in their heart, that we just completely, bypass that.
Yeah. Unfortunate reality for many spiritual spaces.
All
So
right, there's
10
some
left.
comments.
Yeah.
Dan is saying so many grifters out there. I don't know that word. This is the most important information for humanity. It's for everyone and shouldn't be behind a paywall. Yeah. I mean, it's a tricky one because, of course, healers need to make money as well. But I think that what makes the difference is what is the highest priority and value.
Yeah.
Is the highest service to humanity, truth, or is it I want to be somebody, I want to be successful?
Yeah. And of course, like it's important that healers and all these people who serve humanity in the spiritual work, it's important to get compensated with this work so you don't lose a lot of your energy in a 9 to 5 job and then you're exhausted and can't do anything else. So it's important to be compensated for it. But like what Mia said, it's about the focus. Like, is it the focus change from serving to feeding the ego, or is it just like a natural exchange?
Yeah, so actually, what I see in this is an imbalance of giving and receiving in a way. Because when we are coming from this place of, I want to be successful, it's like we're kind of like fighting hard to get our share. And sorry, I'm just looking at my notes so I can remember. Yeah, just really focused on getting enough money and appreciation. It's kind of like we don't trust that we will receive, so we're like trying to hold on to it, like I must receive and I don't want to overgive. It's like this trauma of like
Yeah.
like not getting enough or not being valued,
Yeah.
actually. And also in the second one, where we only serve and don't get anything, this is
It's
also
the same trauma, but the opposite spectrum.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically over focused on giving and not knowing how to receive, maybe feeling undeserving and unworthy, and then overcompensating by overdoing, overgiving, and then feeling shame to receive, to allow ourselves to, take something in as well.
Yeah, and it's so important to find integration for those aspects who really want to have like maybe it's a black hole, but it's not in a bad way, but just like this child who need appreciation or who need to be seen, and move through that to be in service, in true service, where it's just love being channeled through us. And
Yes.
we know Mia better than me. We have amazing teacher, Dr. Robert Morse, who been look up to him, and he's like just an amazing line, just like sharing nonstop.
Yeah, I think of him as somebody who is really integrated in this, because his focus is truly on healing, and he is like not stopping at anything. He's just like, I'm here to like, he's more focused on the physical part of healing, like helping people to cure illnesses. And he's just so much giving, and at the same time so much comes back to him, like people love him so much. And he's, of course, his business is doing great as well.
Yeah.
but his prices are affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has wealth, but it's the focus is clearly on his mission, and it's so beautiful. This
Yeah.
is nowadays I'm really careful where I put my energy to and who I follow, who
Yeah.
I listen to, and I'm trying to pick the people who have that integrated energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe in other video, if you like, let us know. We can make a video about teacher that we found in integrity and who shared the slide. That could be like a topic for another video.
Dan is saying it's sad result of our capitalist system that forces us to need money to live. Yeah, really, I feel sometimes people feel cornered.
Yeah.
That's probably what drives behind that. But actually, really, I think it's more than the system, it's our wounding.
Mm-hmm. Mainly our wounding created the system, if you think about it in a deeper level.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, so this feeling of like not being recognized in our beauty, feeling worthless, undervalued, unseen, and then we start to overcompensate, and that's where this desire to be somebody comes from. Like I need to be an amazing, healer and have all these merits and this many followers and this high income,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will feel like I am enough.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, when you're paying premium prices for something, be really careful to discern, are you paying for an excellent service, an excellent value, which
Or
is
an
sometimes the
excellent
case,
ego.
or are you paying to compensate somebody's low self-esteem?
Mm-hmm.
Are you paying a premium price because that person needs you to validate their worthiness? Sophs is saying, what are criteria for outstanding people for identify whom we may trust on social media? You already mentioned showing all facets of life, not only the positive ones.
There is also, I see also like a trend now in the promotion in social media that people promote themselves as vulnerable so they get like more clients and more followers and so on. It become like a really trend now to share something. Oh, this was so vulnerable, and then get like people, yeah, oh wow, how amazing that is, and then having like the sympathy. So it's really tricky now with social media because whenever there is like something that's really genuine, then the ego hijacked it and then make it like into promotion strategy.
Yeah, I think it's not so so easy. It's more about the feeling that we need to learn to discern the energy. And this can be a long process because that means we need to internally also find the pure light inside of us. Because if we are in that pattern internally where we are hijacking our own gifts and our own light, like, or parts of us are doing that, then we will be always a match to other people doing that to us. So it's really learning to recognize the pure light in a way. And we're not saying that we are 100% there.
Yeah.
It's more like we have recognized the need for that and we are working towards that and want to also share this with you guys. And maybe we are on the journey together to figure out how to,
Yeah, it feels
how to
like
get there.
it's a process of unfolding to be in higher alignment, and this is why we felt like doing it live stream, because just like put the idea out there and see who resonate and how we can work together to be more of a community with integrity and with integrity, putting our values and following in that.
Yeah. Lord is saying, I find it easier to trust plant teachers than people claiming to be teachers.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is actually where our discernment has come from to a large degree. The plants showed us what true love and light means. And after that, having more clarity about what resonates and what doesn't.
And if you look at the indigenous culture, like those humble teachers, they're amazing. Like our curanderos, who we did plant medicine with, they were so down to earth. Like if I met them several times before, and I would not recognize that they are this amazing teacher. But now looking back and see their work, how much in integrity they are, and they do zero promotion almost. And just the healing experience we had with them was so beautiful and so amazing. Yeah. I'm sure there's many people like that in your community. So I won't recommend to use Facebook to look for a teacher or Meta. Now it's becoming like a whole parallel reality, which actually disconnect us from reality. So yeah, I would recommend to look around and seek your intuition. That will tell you.
The man is asking, does being guided always feel closer frequency of love, or can one be hijacked by a seemingly loving feeling, but it may be malicious? This could be internal feelings of spiritual communication. Thanks. Absolutely. I have seen this actually. Of course, I don't have 100% guarantee that this is what was happening, but with certain people, I have felt that they themselves think that they are communicating with spirit guides, for example. But actually, it feels to me more like other entities that mask themselves as high vibrational beings. So that's the difficulty when we open ourselves up to communicate with other beings. We need to have really good discernment of what actually love feels like, because love isn't this necessarily like a buzzy, high vibrational feeling. I feel love more as a grounded feeling of just presence and peace and clarity.
Yeah.
And these entities that sometimes attach to us or work through us, it's tricky because they exactly know how to hook onto our wounding. Like, for example, if we have a need to feel like we are special, they may let us think that, yeah, we are so much in love with frequency, we're so special, and we have a special mission, and we are so high vibrational, and now, boom, you're hooked into this trap again, and you're not able to serve from that place, truly.
Yeah, that's such a good example. Also, it could be something about, how intuitive I am. Oh, how, like the examples are infinite.
Yeah.
Hello, Joanna.
I think the only solution really to this is healing the inner wounding. Because then we will be able to discern and feel when something feels true, when something feels truly light and loving and coming from like the divine light coming through, And when we are too much still wrapped up in our own ego, maybe working with not so light entities, we might even resist the light in others. We might completely see them as like start putting projections on them, because in a way, let's say the darkness in us doesn't want the light. It's like scared of it. It doesn't want to be exposed. The entities know that they will be kicked out if we allow the light in, so they try to distract us.
Yeah, that's an important one.
So Johanna is asking, how can new healers who don't have clients attract clients without promoting themselves and putting themselves out there?
Good question. I think many people ask this question. Wow. Thank you for asking, Joanna. I think the most important thing is like when we start from needing clients, it's a different energy than when we start from sharing and wanting to help. So that's the first step of like seeing like, yeah, maybe I need money to finance my life, but it's a different energy that I need client to finance my life. So that's the start, I think. And I think it's important that we also value our gift and not just like undermining our gift. So there is like a really tricky question. It could be different from person to a person. Like for me, when I start offering my healing gifts as service, before that I was always like helping people and be a good listener to friends and giving advice in relationship and helping people coming closer. But I never thought that I could be doing this as a work, because I was mainly working in the IT section and I was not really needing money. But then when I feel like this is my heart calling, I want to be in a community, I want to be in a space of all my energy going to that place. I started with donation base, for example, and when I was offering connection game, it was over a year for donation base, and then people start, I really like your work, I want to give you something because it helped me so much. And that's how I personally started, and it could be different from person to a person. So
well, we're also like, I want to just emphasize that we're not saying you shouldn't promote yourself.
Yeah.
Of course, we need to put ourselves out there. But again, it's more about what is the focus? Is it, I really desperately need you to give me money? Who is there helping whom? Is the client helping you actually to get money? Or are you helping them? Or is it really, I'm sharing because I can feel that I have actually so much to give, and I want people to know that I'm available for them, and I feel really called to do this. It's a totally different energy with which we then share.
And this is the energy of exchange. It's very different than the energy of needing, I need the client to give me money so I can live my fancy life, or I can pay my bills.
Yeah, it's a tricky
I hope
one.
it makes sense to you. Let us know. If not, we can explain.
And you know, we're not perfect with this either. Like, we promote ourselves, of course we need to share, you know, our work with people, and we are also all the time, we are like really looking for that alignment of not manipulating, because that's a big one where people, like, almost all the promotion, you can feel an element of manipulation in it. Trying to saying something in order to get something, in order to hook. So we're constantly asking ourselves, how can I share from a place of just shining the light, just speaking the truth, and allowing the right people to be attracted to that light? And we're not like 100%
We're not fully there yet, yeah.
But yeah, that's the journey.
Yeah, we would love to be there, and we are working towards that. So that's what we can say for sure. We are working towards that, and hopefully one day we'll be one of those loving teachers who just like shine the love unconditionally all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sofs is asking, what do you plan for your next workshop next Saturday?
Should we spill the secret?
Yeah, so we are gonna do a group shadow work process. And this is to allow all the kind of patterns and dynamics that we play to surface and to be witnessed by the group. And we kind of highlight it. We allow ourselves to go into those dynamics, to speak out what is triggering us, to speak out when we are afraid or annoyed by somebody, or, you know, angry or bored, and to embody that consciousness. So it's a mixture of parts work and the creator's game that we have learned a few years ago.
Yeah, and like, just to give you an example, like, you know, you are in a conversation or situation with some friends or like partner even, and then something feel awkward, like something, there's like, you could feel like there's like this energy and there's something unspoken, and that's where like our dynamic play with each other. So what we do in this workshop is to open space for those like hidden emotion or pattern to come up, and usually when they come up, it's such an interesting soup.
It's challenging also,
yeah.
But we love doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, so if you are in Berlin and you're interested, we will leave the link in the description.
Yeah, and we also have a retreat coming. We can share later about it, but it's 5 days experience, healing experience, group healing experience. We'd love you to be there. We have amazing place in nature for it. Yeah.
Yes, so Dan is still saying there's one more comment. Everyone is trying to pull the speck from their brother's eye before pulling the plank from their own eye. Yes. The inner work is the key, guys. Always looking inside. I guess we read all the comments.
Yeah, so you can still write us your comment if you have any questions, and we're gonna move next to the channeling section where...
Right. So Mia, hello from is that New Zealand? NZ?
NZ News.
Okay.
Hello, Maya.
Johanna, will there be shadow work at the retreat too? Yes, there will be, definitely. big time, but also shamanic work with some plants,
Yeah.
not psychedelic, but rapé, cacao,
Mhm.
fire ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
different
this
things.
this circle, this year will include more of the traditional healing, and we are in talk with to see if we can get any indigenous person to join us and offer something. We are still haven't get like a full agreement. We'll see how we can do that. More information will follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we wanted to do a channeling to feel into the blockage in the people who watch this, and this applies to everyone live and whoever watches this afterwards,
Mhm.
that is holding us back from being truly in that state of, service, and at the same time allowing the abundance to flow in, allowing that flow of giving and then receiving in an abundance. So, just a moment.
And meanwhile, you can tune to yourself and feel in you what resonates. If there is any resistance, try to acknowledge the resistance and feel. Sometimes the resistance is about like something doesn't want to be seen or acknowledged also. So try to tune to that. And if it doesn't resonate, you can just let it pass. If it resonates, you can take it in and take the teaching from this. And yeah, thank you for bringing your light, love.
It feels as though there was like a blockage here in the heart and throat area, like inability to speak almost.
Mm.
And it feels like inability to express. Not that, that's not quite the right word, more like freeze, or yeah, just feeling blocked to share and express. Floating, feeling a bit as though there is no space, as if there was no space for us to express our truth.
And by the way, if you have any question to me, you can ask me. And I will ask as well. Write it in the comment.
Like a layer of grief around the heart. Yeah, as if there was a layer of grief around the heart that needs to be felt. It's almost like as though we were walking in the world, not fully, like feeling like looking to the outside all the time, asking for permission, looking for somebody to see us, and at the same time not seeing ourselves. Like as if we are not looking at ourselves, we are not looking at the heart, but we're looking to the outside, waiting that somebody can see us, somebody to mirror to us who we are. And at the same time we're ignoring our own hearts. So it feels like as though we have to stop and just turn inward and look at the heart. And if you're listening to this now, you can do this in this very moment. You can close your eyes, breathe and feel your heart, and see if you can look at your heart internally. And you may ask, what do you feel? What do you want me to know, heart? We need to let go. There's a letting go that needs to happen of needing others to see us first, waiting for others to first validate our light, validate our gifts. need to let go of that first so we can really feel what is inside of us that wants to be spoken, and allow a voice to that what is in the heart. Sometimes the voice is just crying out loud. It feels like the heart is saying, I have so much to give, and no one sees it. I have so much love to give, and I don't find a place for it. So it feels like a pain of having so much love and just like, I don't know, things to share, and somehow as if it wasn't wanted or recognized, or there wasn't space for it. So that could speak of a trauma where this happened in a childhood. And that creates that grief of like, because of course we want to share. It's like that in itself is so beautiful, that interaction and being received by others. So it feels like a trauma of not being received. And then blocking the heart.
Wow, it resonates so much.
Then we start ignoring the heart. But now we need to do that healing process internally first, where we receive the heart. We are the one who starts to receive us. And then start sharing that, but without an expectation. Not so that someone can recognize it, but just start sharing it.
Wow, it resonates so much with me and with the man saying, I'm deeply feeling this, you must be connecting to me. And also I see some other people watching, so if this resonates with you, let us know how you feel about it, and I will ask Mia your questions, so if you have more questions you can write it.
No, I feel like I'm kind of coming out of that. It feels like the core of it was now shared. Anything else?
So there's questions. Mia, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, is asking if you can tell me what guides do I have. Maybe we need to see your pictures, right?
That's a bit, sometimes that's a bit difficult for me because I'm more of an emotional channeler. So I channel sort of feeling signatures and emotions. So I'd be hesitant to try to describe the guide itself. I might be able to feel their energy, but not like what kind of entity it is exactly. But yeah, so what I'm feeling is that so much joy is awaiting you when you connect to your heart. Like it might be a process first of like pain and grief, but there's so much joy. Oh my God, I can feel it. I'm getting goosebumps.
Wow. Dan said, very powerful. Thank you, Dan. And Johanna said, resonate a lot. I feel the childhood grief.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today. And any questions, let us know in the comments. We try to answer them all.
And remember, if you're watching the replay, that also applies to you. And if you just join us for the channeling, check out the beginning of the video. We shared a lot of new guidance and new downloads in this video. And we have several videos that will help you on your healing journey. We have one demonstration about Bart's work, and we have so much important video that will help you and guide you. And if you like to see us in person, come to Berlin. We have two events, one on Saturday and one the retreat in December, our biggest event in Europe.
We will put the link in the description for both of them, so you can find it. And thank you so much.
And if you have any other questions, please leave them below and we will answer you. You can leave them as a comment rather than a chat comment, so we can see them after the video. Yeah, we love you so much. We love our community. We reached 5,000 subscribers. It's a big milestone for us, especially that we don't do promotions and all these things. So thank you so much for being with us in this journey. And we will continue being with you and sharing openly and vulnerably, and yeah, what's happening in our life.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye for
Bye.
now.